The house is quiet. Too quiet. A stillness hangs in the air like the world is holding its breath. Moonlight spills through the nursery window, soft and gentle, brushing across the crib where a baby sleeps. And his mother steps into the room. She moves quietly, careful not to wake him. She leans over the crib, watching her son with a tired but peaceful smile. She touches his small hand with hers and whispers something only a parent would say, something soft, loving, ordinary. But then, she hears it. A sound. Very faint. A voice. She stops. Her smile fades just slightly. The mother frowns and glances over her shoulder, expecting to see her husband standing behind her. He isn't. She sighs, shaking her head at her own nerves, and begins to leave the room. As she steps back into the hallway, someone is standing over the crib. A tall figure. Still. Silent. Facing away from her. The figure tilts its head slightly, as if acknowledging her. Her mouth opens, but the scream is trapped. Then sound returns, explosive, terror ripping through her throat. Downstairs, her husband jolts upright from the couch. He runs, charging up the stairs. But before he reaches the nursery door, everything erupts. A flash of unnatural light, bright, burning, impossible. He bursts into the room, but she's no longer standing. She's pinned high against the ceiling, eyes wide, unable to scream anymore. Fire spreads around her, crawling across the plaster, swallowing her like a living creature. He grabs the baby from the crib and runs. Smoke pours down the hallway. Flames spread faster than fire ever should. Outside, he stumbles into the cold night air, clutching the baby. The house burns behind them. He screams her name again and again. Helpless, broken. But only fire answers. Years pass. The world moves, but some wounds don't. The child from that burning house grows into a young man, Sam Winchester. His eyes are sharp, focused. His mind is somewhere between the present and the past, though he tries not to show it. Later that night, laughter fills an apartment. Sam sits with friends, relaxed, calm, finally living a normal life. Jessica moves beside him, warm smile, soft eyes, someone who makes the world feel safe again. He leans into her. She rests her head on his shoulder. For once, everything feels simple. But simplicity never lasts. Hours later, the apartment is dark. Sam lies asleep beside Jessica. The moonlight creeps across the room. A sound breaks the silence. The front door. Sam's eyes open. He sits upright, alert instantly, not like a regular student waking up, but like someone trained to notice danger. He steps quietly through the apartment, avoiding creaking floorboards. His breathing slows. His muscles tense. Then a shadow lunges at him. Sam fights back instinctively. Fists slam. Bodies crash into furniture. The figure swings, but Sam counters, slamming him onto the floor and pinning an arm behind his back. Then the stranger groans. "Relax, Sammy." Sam freezes. His grip loosens. The intruder looks up, smirking slightly despite the pain. It's Dean, his older brother. Sam steps back, staring, shocked, irritated, confused, 100 emotions trapped behind his eyes. Sam finally speaks. "What are you doing here?" Dean looks at him, serious now. "Dad's missing." The words hit harder than any punch. Sam's face hardens, the past clawing its way back into his mind. Dean explains what he knows. Their father left on a hunt, chasing something dangerous. Something old. And now he's vanished without a trace. But Dean keeps pushing. "I need your help." Sam wants to refuse. He wants to shut the door on everything that came before. But there's something else in Dean's voice. Something rare. Fear. Sam finally nods. Slow, reluctant. "Just for the weekend." Dean accepts it, pretending the relief doesn't show. Dean hands Sam a leather-bound journal. Their father's handwriting fills the pages. Symbols, creature descriptions, warnings, patterns, research most people would call insane. Sam flips to a marked page. A woman in white. A spirit that preys on unfaithful men. A ghost carrying betrayal and rage, trapped between life and death. Sam reads silently. Dean glances over with a half-smirk. "Welcome back, little brother." Sam doesn't smile. They arrive in a small town, quiet streets, closed shops, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. But lately, no one wants to talk. They find a car abandoned near a bridge, door open, keys still in the ignition. A sign of panic. A trace of fear. Later, they sit with a survivor, a man who saw her. His voice barely holds steady. She was crying, asking for a ride. She looked so sad. He pauses, swallowing hard as his eyes turn distant. But then her face changed. He trembles. The room grows cold. Dean and Sam exchange a look, unspoken, experienced, familiar. There's no doubt now. They're hunting a restless spirit. Night falls again. The fog thickens. The Impala rolls slowly along a deserted highway. Dean scans the road. Sam watches the darkness as if expecting it to move. Then, there. A woman stands in the middle of the road, pale dress waving slightly in the cold air. She doesn't flinch as the car approaches. She doesn't speak. She just stands, waiting. Sam brakes gently. The world around them feels frozen. Dean mutters, almost amused, almost nervous. "Well, that's her." Her voice floats on the air, soft, sad, cracked. "Take me home." Sam swallows hard. Dean watches from outside, hand near a weapon, breathing steady but alert. Sam grips the steering wheel. The night deepened around them as Sam and Dean drove through the quiet outskirts of Jericho. The road stretched endlessly ahead, illuminated only by the Impala's headlights slicing through the dark. Sam sat silently, replaying the strange pieces of the case in his mind. Dean, gripping the wheel, looked like he was barely holding back the pressure building inside him. Years of hunting, secrets, and urgency woven into every muscle. Eventually, they pulled up outside a small apartment building belonging to Troy's girlfriend, Amelia. Her eyes were tired, puffy from crying. Sam gently asked her about Troy's disappearance. She spoke hesitantly, recalling their last phone call the night he vanished. Her voice trembled as she explained that Troy had said something strange, something about a woman appearing on the road. The detail lingered like an icy fingerprint in the air. Sam and Dean exchanged a look. The pattern was becoming clearer. Amelia moved to the window, staring into the night as if expecting Troy to walk back at any moment. She insisted he hadn't simply run away. They listened, taking in every detail, every emotional crack in her voice. When they left, Sam couldn't shake the heaviness that stuck to him like fog. Back in the Impala, Dean started sorting through the next lead. Their research pointed them to the old police station. Inside dusty archives, forgotten files waited, yellowed paper, photos faded around the edges. Sam sifted through reports of men missing over the years. The dates stretched back decades. Each case eerily similar. Young men vanished while traveling the same lonely stretch of road. Dean flipped open another file and paused. A marriage license. Constance Welch. The name echoed in the silence between them. Sam leaned closer, reading. A woman who lived in Jericho. Her records showed she had died under tragic circumstances. Sam dug further, unearthing a newspaper clipping tucked between pages. A photograph showed Constance with her 2 young children. The headline revealed a grim truth. Her children had drowned. Later, grief overwhelmed her, pushing her to take her own life. As Sam whispered the words aloud, the weight of the tragedy pressed on the room. Dean leaned back, jaw set, eyes shadowed. A story like that often left echoes, and sometimes, echoes became something far worse. With this information, they drove to the dilapidated remains of Constance Welch's old house. The moonlight streamed faintly through a broken window, illuminating a woman in an old white dress. Her hair hung long and tangled, shadowing her face. She stood before a broken crib, motionless except for the slow heaving of her shoulders. Sam whispered her name, Constance. The woman turned. Dean stepped forward, but before he could act, Constance vanished. Sam exhaled slowly. "She's real," he murmured, though both already knew. They returned to the car to regroup, but the silence between them wasn't calm. It was tense, pulsing with urgency. Dean suggested returning to the motel to rest and plan. Sam reluctantly agreed. But the quiet didn't last. Dean barely had time to react before officers dragged him away. The next moments blurred, handcuffs, shouting, the cold metal of a police cruiser door slamming shut. Meanwhile, Dean found his own way out, because hunters rarely allowed locked doors to stop them. When a figure stepped from the shadows, Constance. Her eyes glowed with something hungry, something ancient. Sam froze as she approached, her voice soft and chilling, whispering words he couldn't fully understand. Before he could react, she vanished, and the next instant, Sam felt a cold grip drag him back. He struggled, heart pounding, breath sharp and quick. He hit the hood of a car hard, Dean's Impala. The headlights flicked on, illuminating Constance standing before him, ghostly and deadly. Then the passenger door burst open, Dean shouting Sam's name as the car roared back to life. Sam scrambled in, the Impala tearing down the road with Constance clinging to the hood, her face twisted, her scream piercing the night. Dean swerved, Sam braced, and the nightmare was only getting started.